Hi everyone, this is Hiba from My Little Journal, and today I'm really excited to be doing a flip through of my traveler's notebooks, and I wanted to share with you what I decided to do with my traveler's notebooks for 2020. Now, you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, that I use Studio Calico's traveler's notebooks. I love their traveler's notebooks. They're gorgeous. They have pattern paper in there, so it's easy to create your spreads. But recently I had purchased some Life Crafted albums from Citrus Twist. Let me grab those real quick. And I've been enjoying these albums as well. So what I decided to do was trim down my traveler's notebooks after I'm done and put them into my Life Crafted album. This way my layouts are more protected. I don't have to worry about my pages falling apart, even though I've been using this for a few years now, Studio Calico's TNs, and they do not fall apart with me. I know a lot of people have complained to me that they do, but I bulk it up and you can see like I have a lot of embellishments in there and I've never had a problem with that. But what I thought would be a better way to store them is in pockets. So all I did was I literally removed, let's see, where's the center here? I removed the staples and started trimming down my notebook right in the center and basically put them in pockets. Now, if you're not familiar with Citrus Twist Life Crafted album, it does come, once you purchase the album, it does come with page protectors. But I did buy extras because I was able to fit in 2 traveler's notebooks in one album, which is pretty cool. I also was able to label them. So I think I have January through, what is this? April. So I wanted to share with you how I trimmed down my traveler's notebook, how I set it up in a Life Crafted album. And also I did want to mention that the great part about this is I can work outside my traveler's notebook now. So I can like add in more layouts, not just be restricted by how many spreads are in this traveler's notebook, if that makes sense. So if you wanted to, you could definitely use a whole album for one traveler's notebook or 2 or 3. It just depends on how much you add into your layouts, like the bulkiness of your traveler's notebook. But I've been really enjoying this. Okay, you guys, so I lost some footage and I apologize about that. But I thought I would do a separate video of my flip through just because I lost all that footage when I did my flip through of January, February. I will try to post it the same day I post this video. So make sure to check out my channel if you want to see a flip through of January and February. And then I'll get back into kind of doing flip throughs on a regular every month. But for now, I wanted to share with you what I'm going to do or how I trim down my traveler's notebook to add them into these Citrus Twist Life Crafted albums. And it's really simple. It's really easy, but I thought it would be fun to share with you for anybody who, you know, is kind of curious on how I trim down my traveler's notebook to fit into these albums. So let's start. I'm gonna put it on fast forward, do a voiceover, and share with you how I trim down my traveler's notebook and add them in these albums. Okay, guys, so this is usually what I use when I'm removing my staples is my tweezers. I've tried everything and I just feel like the tweezers work really well because they're kind of curved on the end and it just helps kind of lift those staples straight up. So I'm gonna lift those staples and then I'm gonna do page by page, removing them from the staples. I don't want anything to tear. I want to be very careful. I pull out my paper, flip it over, because I want to make sure that my layouts are in order. So once I remove about more than half of my pages, I will flip over my traveler's notebook and just remove what's left from those staples. That way I'm not like trying to pull the staples through all of my pages and I'm just pulling them through a couple. Now that I got my staples out, I'm going to start trimming down my layouts. I will use my tonic trimmer. I've had this trimmer for years. It's at least, I don't know, 11 or 12 years old, maybe more. and it still works. It does the job and it cuts like butter. So I'm going to literally take page by page, trim it down, and I want to do this in order. So when I'm setting down my layouts, or like once I trim them, I will add one page to the top, one page to the bottom, just to keep it in order. It looks more complicated than it is, but honestly, I've done a couple now and I've become a pro at it. So your first try is the most nerve-wracking, but then it just becomes pretty simple. And I also wanted to remind you that because you had staples in the center of your traveler's notebook, your pages are going to be larger than the pockets for the Citrus Twist album. So you will have to trim off a little bit from each page so they can fit into your pockets, but it's not a big deal, especially if you're like me and you don't add anything in the fold of your traveler's notebook, then you're good to go. And if you don't, you still have that space to trim off because your staples were sitting there. I am almost done. Once I'm done with my last page, I'm going to come back on and share with you how I slide these in my page protectors and how I create these little mini albums using my traveler's notebooks. Okay, you guys, as you can see, it was very easy to trim this down and pull my traveler's notebook apart. Now is the fun part where you get to slide them into pockets, finished documented photos and layouts. And I wanted to share with you how, like in May, my son graduated high school. So I had a lot of photos, I had a lot of, special moments about him that were not going to fit in my Studio Calico Traveler's Notebook. So this is another reason why I'm loving these albums, is because I can add extra pages within my May Traveler's Notebook, if that makes sense. So it was a lot of fun to just add those larger photos and not waste like pages in my Traveler's Notebook and have them in my album. So I already have a few spreads here in my album, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some of these from my album here. And I also created some more spreads back here. I forgot about that. I added these in my Traveler's Notebook. So these also I want to add in my June Traveler's Notebook, which I'm starting to work on right now. So these are going to end up being on the back because I'm still working in May and I want to add my May Traveler's Notebook. So when I add my June, I'll have some spreads ready in there. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start adding my layouts here. I'm going to start with the cover. And I'm just going to start adding page by page into my pockets. Very simple, very easy. It's literally like you were creating projects outside of a traveler's notebook and just on loose paper. And that's what I love. I get to use my Studio Calico traveler's notebooks and I get to have them in pockets inside these gorgeous and beautiful albums from Citrus Twist. Okay, so now that I have this done, I'm going to go ahead and set it up. I'm going to put my cover in there. I'm just literally putting these into my album. Okay, so I went ahead and added my traveler's notebook in the pockets in my album. As you can see, I shared earlier that I had extra photos that I wanted to add into my May little traveler's notebook album. So the end of my May traveler's notebook, I might cover it with a photo. I do have extra photos from special moments in May, and it is a 4x8, so I can definitely figure that out and just cover this up, maybe do a little photo here, maybe of my son again, and that way, it's like a little mini section. The whole my whole May traveler's notebook is all about him because it was like a special month for him. But anyways, once I work on my June, I'll just add those 2 spreads that I created in my June section and just start, June. And that way I have an album full of June, May moments documenting special memories. And it will fit very comfortably because I'm going to share with you real quick. So it can fit a good chunk, and June will fit, hopefully, fingers crossed. And I really wanted to use this flamingo pink. It is so pretty for my summer documentation. So I think these look just gorgeous on my shelving, and it's just so, so pretty. Let me grab, I think this one is, so this one is March and April, looking amazing. They look beautiful on my shelves, and my traveler's notebooks are protected. I will stick to this for 2020. I don't know if I will do this again next year, but for now, I'm really loving it. I love this, the easiness of just like flipping through these albums and enjoying your spreads. So I definitely recommend it if you're thinking of trimming down your traveler's notebook. But that's about it, you guys. Like I said, I will be posting a flip through on my channel today if you want to check out January and February's traveler's notebooks. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.